Yeah, that's right, YouTube. I haven't done a PWNAGE video in a while now, have I? But I feel that today's YouTube user, who's known as 530 on YouTube but calls himself Shad Elliot in his videos, deserves a pretty damn good hitch slap. And, you know, I'm just all too happy to oblige.
Chad Elliot here, Creationism and the Origin of Life, Facebook page. This is the Elliot argument. I believe it's unrefutable. I believe it's undefeated. I believe that this argument cannot be beaten.
Well, then here's a tip for you right off the bat, Mr. Elliot. If you think that your argument is completely infallible, then that's already making a fairly large blunder in terms of academia, because no idea is completely infallible. Nothing can be 100% verified in this world, except, save of course, for your own existence. Therefore, nothing in this world can actually be 100% verified unless you self-impose it with your own mind. So if you want to save yourself some humiliation later on, oh wait, it's a little late now. If you want to save yourself some humiliation in the future, and if you want to stop looking like a complete douche, then I suggest you actually listen to what your Bible tells you to do and start practicing some humility.
This is called the Elliot argument. Premise number one. Both STE and SCP-NCEU are illogical, irrational, and have zero evidence.
So he essentially tries to put atheists into two categories as they lack a belief in God, that they must believe in something. Firstly, that if atheists do not believe in God, they believe that space and time are eternal, hence the acronym STE. Secondly, if atheists do not believe in that option or the existence of God, then they must believe that something can come from pure nothingness and then create entire universes. So we're getting off to a bad start already, considering how you already have spun a straw man, because atheists don't have to believe in anything. It is only the lack of a belief, specifically in the idea of a god or god. Now, whether the atheist believes that space and time were eternal, or if something came from nothing, or if the goddamn chocolate fairies decided to create the universe on a whim, that's up to their discretion, but the only requirement for an atheist is to lack a belief in a god or gods. Of course, there are several theories for both of those explanations. Space and time can be eternal because thermodynamics obviously applies, and, well, energy cannot be created and neither can matter. But at the same time, something can, in a sense, come from nothing if you know anything about quantum mechanics. I'm trying to put this in very loose and fairly over generic terms here, but if you've studied quantum mechanics, you will understand that a lot of the theories that are discussed in classical physics do not apply in the quantum world.
Premise number two. If you deny the uncreated creator, your only two options are STE or SCP-NCEU.
So far, we're 0 for 2 here, considering how you've already based your argument on A, a straw man, and B, a false dichotomy.
Premise number three. Atheists deny the uncreated creator. And therefore, the conclusion, atheists are irrational, illogical, and have zero evidence.
Well, of course we have zero evidence. We don't need evidence because we're not the ones making a positive claim now, are we? That would be you, sir, who has to provide the evidence. So you have the burden of proof. You have to show evidence that your God created this all, and stop hiding behind circular tautologies, straw men, and false dichotomies to try and pull one over on atheists. It doesn't work, and it makes you look pathetic. Let's tally up the amount of mistakes you've made in your whole syllogism. Firstly, atheists do not have to believe anything at all. Instant straw man. Secondly, atheists don't have to provide evidence because we're not the ones making any positive claims. Second straw man. Thirdly, atheists do not have to choose between God and your options. That's a false dichotomy. Fourthly, even if atheists had to choose between one or the other, that still doesn't prove that one or the other is correct. Second false dichotomy. Fifthly, just because you yourself haven't done any research in any of these areas of science that I've previously discussed does not mean that your points are in any way correct. That would be an argument from ignorance. And lastly, but not least, your argument essentially is a non sequitur and can be reverse engineered to fit any other premise, considering how even if atheists could not explain where everything came from, that doesn't necessarily make it true that your God created everything. So, instead of actually trying to just hide behind these petty, putrid lies, why don't you actually provide evidence to explain the mechanisms of how this uncreated creator did indeed create the universe? Yeah, show me some evidence to show exactly how this uncreated creator created everything in the universe without using any of the concepts discussed in classical physics, quantum mechanics, or cosmology. Furthermore, find me a peer-reviewed piece of literature that discusses this exact type of process used by this uncreated creator to create the universe, and that has to be reviewed by at least 10 other scientists in a particular field, such as quantum mechanics, physics, or cosmology. And if that sounds like too much work for you, or if you don't have any sort of evidence like that to support your argument, then I suggest you shut the fuck up and piss off. Thanks for watching, guys, and may the truth always be heard.